Hello YouTube and welcome back to Psychology Everyday Day 178. Today I'm studying ethics and morality as part of my sort of law course for becoming a clinical psychologist, where we have to learn about the laws of secrecy and acting in a professional yet ethical manner. And the three sort of basic main philosophies regarding ethics are duty ethics, consequentialism, and then virtue ethics. And let's start with virtue ethics, which basically means trying to be a good person first and foremost. The problem, of course, then is deciding what is a good person, and we're going to talk about objective morality as well. Then you have duty ethics, which is, following the guidelines and the rules regardless of the outcome. And then you have consequentialism or pragmatism, which is looking to the outcome only. One of the problems with consequentialism or pragmatism is, of course, that what is beneficial in totality might contain some very evil elements. Let's say you have 5 sick patients and they each need a different organ, and then you have a healthy person. According to this line of thinking, it would be beneficial, of course, to take these 5 organs from the healthy person and lose 1 but save 5. This is, of course, crazy, and that is why, according to me, pragmatism and consequentialism is not a valid line of thinking at all. And any sort of step away from true virtue ethics with objective morality is, in my opinion, wrong, because as soon as you step out of that realm, you are into nihilism, and it then becomes about, do you really believe that you understand ethics and morality better than the collective wisdom of thousands of years, or if you are, a believer, than God? It's quite arrogant, quite prideful, I would say. The problems with consequentialism, I think this is from Immanuel Kant, where you are supposed to follow the rules at all times, and if everyone does this, then it will not be a problem, is of course that the rules might be wrong if you have an evil dictator. And a conundrum, of course, is, let's say your brother steals a loaf of bread to feed his sort of starving family and then hides in your house when running from the police. According to this line of thinking, you should report him, which is also insane. It's a crazy, crazy idea. Virtue ethics is always, in my opinion, more correct, and trying to be a good person, even if you get it wrong sometimes, is the correct aim. Now, the reason that people they're against this is because a lot of philosophers and thinkers, in a quite autistic way, they can't quantify it. And you know how crazy I get when you try to use that as an argument for something. Because just because something can't be proven doesn't mean it's not true. We have gone over the example with the perfect numbers, but we all know, every single person in this world, or almost, I guess, understands that helping an old lady cross the street, good killing babies when they are 1 year old, bad. We all understand that there is good and bad, and we sort of understand what's good, and we sort of understand what's bad. And the thing is, this is like archetypes, right? Just because we can't specify it or explain it exactly doesn't mean it's not real. There is sort of an underlying rule set to reality, and that is objective. And I really do believe that there is such a thing as objective morality, and according to this line of thinking, it's not even a question, it does exist. Just like archetypes is real, but of course that depends, I guess, on how abstract you are able to think. But even if you don't believe in God, let's say you live in Sweden, you have to understand that our society stands on the shoulders of 2000 years of Christian ethics. And using the basic sort of rule sets, the commandments, the Bible, the golden rule, is far more efficient and correct than using duty ethics or consequentialism or pragmatism. I actually had a debate last Saturday with someone, and then a discussion with another guy, and he put it in a way that I completely agree with. And I think I've actually said it at some sort of different time, that pragmatism and nihilism and Machiavellism is very closely related. Because what is pragmatic to one person might be very unpragmatic to another. And nihilism, to me, per definition, is any sort of step away from objective morality. Because as soon as it is not about what's right, regardless of what you want, then it is subjective and based on what you want, and then it's that's not how laws and rules should work. We all get this, right? If you do stuff based on what you want, then every law is bad, right? Because whatever it is that I want, that is pragmatic for me, any law that stands against that would be wrong. So you have to accept that there are things that you are not supposed to do, no matter if you want to or not, if you want to do the right thing. Right and wrong is completely separate from want and do not want, which invalidates consequentialism. And duty ethics, of course, it's just a pile of trash, honestly, because the rules are just based upon whoever sets the rules. Might makes right, and so forth. In a society where slavery is allowed, slavery is correct, according to duty ethics. And yeah, fascinating stuff. I like a little bit of philosophy, but I have huge problems with the way of thinking logically, according to some modern philosophers that struggle to understand the old brilliant minds. So mostly I just stay out of it. But I read it a little bit in secret so that when a discussion comes up, I can just smash people. And I love that. So much fun. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.